feel okay. We're live. Okay, cool. Welcome to OnSet. Am I going to say the date? I keep going back and forth about whether or not. It's May something or other, 2018. I'm Daniel Norton. This is Dave.
What a great start. There you go.
Okay.
So dynamic you are.
So we've got Maria here to be our subject. Seth's over here on the Mighty Mixer. You guys are in the audience and at home. They could be watching on YouTube or Facebook. We're now streaming. I'm here most Thursdays. What's that? I was putting lipstick on. It was Burt's Bees, which is amazing, by the way. There's actually a documentary about that guy, Bert, from Burt's Bees. It's pretty fascinating. So if you guys are into that kind of stuff, you should watch it. Not right now. Just keep watching the stream. So yeah, so we stream now on Facebook and YouTube. So if for some reason, like you got banned from Facebook because that stuff you were writing, you know the people. You can watch on YouTube. That's Adorama TV, or Facebook Adorama. Anyways, so today we're talking about working with inexpensive lighting. This is part 3. I'm going to keep adding parts every week that I go. Of the can I do it with this, Daniel, question that I get at the end of each one of these. I'm hoping by the end of this series that nobody will walk up at the end and ask me that question. So no, you can ask me whatever you want. So basically, when we're all getting started in photography, right, most of us pick up a camera, and whether it be your phone or it be a point and shoot or it be a Hasselblad, you get your first camera and you get out there and you start shooting, and then eventually you want to take your photography to the next level, and one major component of that is lighting or controlling light. So there's the whole get a reflector and go outside and use daylight, but that's hard for me to teach standing in Adorama, so we're not going to do that part. Though we do have lots of videos on Adorama TV about things like that if you guys are interested. So we're going to talk about like adding light to the shot. And I decided to buy, okay, I didn't really buy it, I just borrowed it, some inexpensive lights from Adorama so I could showcase some of like the less expensive ways to get in. I will say this, in no way am I saying that you can buy these cheap lights now and never have to buy better lights if you keep going in photography. This is really, the idea is get something to get you going. It's not gonna last forever. Don't come back to me in a year and complain that your lights broke. Yes, that's what's gonna happen, but they're enough to get you going. In that case, now the vendors all hate me that I said that about their lights, but this is the truth. They're inexpensive lights, you get what you pay for. Typically, what I suggest people start with, if not a speed light, so a speed light being the small flash that goes on top of your camera. If you don't start with that, which we're not going to talk about those today, because most of the better ones are more than $100. And plus, Seth does an entire speed light. When's your next one? June 4th. Seth does an entire speed light thing. He doesn't stream it, but you guys can watch it here. We're not going to talk about that. We're going to talk about, first of all, tungsten photo flood type fixtures, which I'll go through, and then we're going to talk about kind of really inexpensive, they even call it a budget flash that's put forward by Adorama. So that being said, let's get going. I will try to say everything that I'm using, especially in this one, because we're going over some inexpensive lighting. If I'm using something and you want to know what it is and I don't say what it is, go ahead and ask and I will tell you. If you have any other questions, please ask. We will, throughout the course of the night, shoot a bunch of pictures and see what we get, right? So I'm going to start with the photo floods because I feel like that's one of the better options for people. Essentially, photo floods are, thanks Dave, well, photo floods are both the name of the bulb and the name of the fixture. A photo flood fixture looks like a pan. It's got a bulb that looks like a regular light bulb in it. But what makes this different is that it's designed to carry the high wattage and the high heat of the photo lamps, which is what's in there. So yes, you could go to the hardware store and get something that looks like this. And if that's all you got, you can use that. But be wary, those are generally set for about 60 or 90 watts. So you're going to be putting a 60 or a 90 watt bulb in there, go for it, right? More power to you. These guys are set up to usually take about a 500 watt bulb. So you can get a lot more power out of it, right? Get more power equals more light, equals you can use faster shutter speeds or better ISOs, et cetera. This one's from Wescott. This is the Ulite kit. And they make one actually that has soft boxes as well. But I think it's a touch more expensive, so we went with this one instead. This is a 2-light kit. It's a little bit over $100. So here it is. 100 and how much? 50? All right, it's 150. I totally lied. Sorry, guys. So it's 150. Wait till it goes on sale.
But it comes with stands.
Yeah, it comes with stands, 2 fixtures, the bulbs. It comes with this neat box to carry it around. What more could you ask for? No, this is literally an entire setup to use. It does not come with C-stands, which is what we're going to use, but it comes with 2 regular lighting stands. It's basically all you need to get going. It comes with umbrellas. I like umbrellas. I did a whole thing on umbrellas. If you guys want to go back and watch that, not right now. You're here. C-stands are what we're using here. We use them generally for these events because they are very rugged. They take up very little space. These are $170 a piece or something like that. They give us a lot of versatility. You don't need these to do this. I'm using them because they're what's here. You know, again, regular lighting stands will be totally fine. In fact, it's actually kind of silly to use those with this, but hey, you know what? I'm silly. All right, so anyways, we got one light. It's got a 250 watt bulb in it. We've got a white umbrella on it, which is a translucent umbrella. That's a shoot-through umbrella, meaning that we shoot through it, right? Simple enough. We can aim the light at our subject. It will create a relatively soft light, soft meaning that our shadow transition will be gradual. How do I know that it's soft? Because it's big relative to my subject, right? This umbrella is this big, Maria is this big, right? So it's almost as big as her, right? So if I'm only going to shoot this much of her, it's going to be larger than my subject, which means that it's going to be soft. Softness is based on size relative to your subject, right? Simple enough. In order to make it as soft as possible, we're going to move it in as close as possible. The closer the light is to somebody, the softer it is. Why? Because the closer it is to you, the bigger it is. See, there's a theme here, right? You see that theme? No? He doesn't see the theme. Now it's time to drink coffee. So we're going to use our light meter.
Do you want me to ship this?
Yeah, we'll have to turn off the lights in the house. We had a light meter before.
It's on the table.
Okay. So basically, we've got a light meter. You can just use the meter in your camera. I'm assuming that if you're trying to buy inexpensive lights because you're just starting, you probably don't want to splurge for a light meter, but it is a good investment eventually. This one is for the event space. This is a Sekonic 308XU. This runs, what, like about 200 bucks maybe, a little bit less. A light meter is one of those things that you buy usually once, so you know it's an investment. Once you start lighting a lot more, definitely consider it, especially for flash. Constant lights, it's easy enough to basically use the meter in your camera, but I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to start at 100 ISO because I like to shoot at 100 ISO when I can. It's the lowest normal ISO within the range, so it's going to give me the least amount of noise. And I like to, I've got a 90 millimeter lens, so I want to shoot at a shutter speed that is a little bit longer than that. So I'm going to pick 125. That's just where I'm going to start. And then I'm going to meter the light by pointing the light meter at the light source, and I'm getting a I'm getting f2. You may have a lens fast enough to shoot at f2, but that's going to give you a tremendously shallow depth of field. I do not have such a fast lens on my camera, which means that I can't shoot. You guys will have to come back next week to see what happens. We don't really know it. No. So what we're going to have to do is now we have to think about this, right? When people sometimes say, I don't have enough light, there's always enough light if you're willing to compromise, right? So I could make my aperture larger, or yeah, smaller rather, by changing my shutter speed, right? So if I just take the meter and start dial down, if I go down to a 60th, I'm at 2.83. So a little bit more than 2.8. That's still kind of shallow for me. So I could go to a 30th, which would give me f4, right? See, I'm doing math there, but I'm not really doing it because my mirror's doing it for me. 30th of a second, that's kind of a risky level for hand-holding a camera, making a portrait of somebody in this case. So what I can do instead is I'll start to do a little compromise. Instead, maybe I'll bring my ISO up. Maybe bring my ISO up to 400 instead. So if I go 400 ISO and I go back to a 60th, now I'm 5.6. 5.6 at a 60th, 400 ISO. I'll remeter it just to make sure, although it should be the same. Yep, a little bit more than 5.6. That's probably a pretty good place to start, right? It's still a little bit slow for me, but you know, Maria hasn't drank too much coffee, so she'll be relatively still. All right, so I've got my camera here.
So the speed is 1 to 5?
Right now, my speed is a 60th. Yeah, I'd like to be at 125, but you can't have everything you want in life. So you gotta make a choice. My mother told me that. All right, so if you are shaky or you feel like that's, you know, really, you gotta make your own choice. I'm using a Hasselblad. It's a medium format camera. The depth of field, thank you, Dave. The depth of field is relatively shallow on a medium format camera, so I really don't want to shoot too much wider than 5.6. So I'm going to sit there. I think I can handhold it at 60th, right? It's on flash white balance, though.
Yeah.
So I'm going to change my white balance. I think I can do it in the computer, too.
Oh.
No, it's not. That means it's charging the camera.
Yeah, yeah. Which
I didn't realize until today. This camera can be charged through the USB, which is pretty sweet. It's probably killing battery in my camera on my computer, though. That's okay. All right, I did it over here. I think we should be good.
white balance is on the
So I'm setting my white balance to tungsten.
tungsten.
Right. The reason why is because, I know this is a tricky one, because I have tungsten lights, right? I mean, so white balance is one of those things that I'll talk about a lot if you watch enough of these, because people constantly complain about it, like, oh, this light is, if you're using tungsten lights and you set your white balance to tungsten, you will get neutral images. Your images will not be orange. They shouldn't be anyways. If they are, you got to set your white balance differently. That's all it is, right? Now, if you have to mix lights together, that becomes a lot more relevant. And we will do that, actually. So, but to start with, just set your white balance to whatever you're using. Using flash, set to flash. Using daylight, set to daylight. Using tungsten, set it to tungsten. Except if you're using fluorescent. Never set it to fluorescent. I don't know why, but I don't think you should do it. Okay, here we go. Did we set it? We think so. All right. So I'm going to make a photo to see what this looks like. We can already see, right, because I'm using a constant light source, that the light is coming across her face, causing some shadow over here, but it should be nice. So shape her face a little bit. She's looking good. This will be her new LinkedIn profile photo. All right, so here we go. I'm going to focus on her. She's looking very intense, right? We make a photo. A picture appears, maybe. There it is. Yay, okay. It's a smidge on the dark side to me. Or is it because my screen went dark? Hold on.
It's a smidge.
What does that do? I have to make my screen up because I forgot to plug my computer in. It's a little on the dark side. All right. So it's a little dark, even with my mirror reading. Also, I feel like it's still a little bit blue, right? There we go. So Dave's messing around, doing computery things. It's always important to shoot raw, right? So you can have that adjustment later. I say that, but you should still set your camera correctly because you don't want your subject to be like, oh, I look funny, right? You want to get it as close as possible. So we made this first shot. It looked pretty good. She's looking a little devious. She's like, I haven't had all my coffee yet, but I'm getting ready for it. It's nice, right? The light's nice across her face. It is shadowy on one side, though, no? I mean, we don't see, you see the shadow, right? Maybe we like that, right? I might like that. You might like that. Who knows? People like that. I'm not a huge fan of a lot of shadow across the face, especially on a female subject. However, we can easily, I'm going to drop this thing. We can easily fix that. We can easily fix that by either using another light, because I got 2 lights at my kit, right? What a deal. Or I could use a reflector, right? I've already spent $150 when I told you guys it was only 100 anyway, so you might as well spend a little more, right? You're already here. Do we have that white card? All right. I've got this reflector. Sometimes when I need to get some extra work, I write things on here, will work. I stand on the street with it. This is just a piece of foam board. It's white on one side. It's white on the other side, right? And when we hold it in the shot like this, it will light her up. Now, we need Dave for that, I guess.
Yep.
Thanks, Dave. I can't hold it myself because I do not have that skill set. So based on that, I'm going to bring the reflector in. We get in my position here.
The crouch.
Beautiful. Nice. My beautiful position. And there she is, right? Wow, what a difference that made. How much would you pay for that, right? This is a piece of foam board. So this is right, $300 for this. Seth will tell it to you right now. Okay, nice and easy. We used a reflector. We filled it in. By the way, if this were a window, if this were the sun, if this were whatever, you could still use the reflector, right? That piece of information works no matter what. We have a nice even shot. She still has a shadow on her face, but we filled it in, right? It's right there. You see it? You didn't see it. There you go. Okay, decent, right? We can also play around the position of our light, right? So we just put it here because that's where you put lights, right? Whenever you see a lighting diagram, it's always right there, right? Isn't that what they always put it? It's like, put the light right there. But because the face is 3-dimensional, right, it's going to throw shadows with our light source. So if we put our light, wherever we put our light, we're going to control where the shadow falls, right? So if I put the light here, the shadows are going to go be there. If I put the lights more in the center, the shadows will fall back behind her or below as I bring it up. Perfect. Look at that. It's almost working out just like we planned it. All right, so I'm going to once again take my light meter, because once you pay $200 for it, you have to use it as many times as possible. It's still the same, because Dave's good at that. All right. It's important, by the way, to moan whenever you have to reach down to get something. It makes people feel like you're working. So by the way, like I said, I'm using the Hasselblad X1D. This is Focus, which is Hasselblad's own tethering software. If you do not have a Hasselblad, I don't know why, but if you don't have a Hasselblad, you could use Capture One or Lightroom to tether. It's the same kind of thing. I'm just shooting into my MacBook, basically. Yes, why wouldn't I? All right, so we'll try this. This is now more centrally lit. I'm still in my awesome pose. Good. Nice. Right? And we can see now where the shadows fall. See how it's still dramatic shadow? So I can keep that drama of the shadow that I had, but have the light nicer on her face, but just by positioning it, right? And how much does that cost extra? None, right? It was just me moving the light around. So I could do that, right? Could I also use the reflector still? Do you think that would work? You think so? Yeah, I bet you do. You know, let's see it. All right, let's see. Nice. All right, so she is, right? Now she's all reflected, right? She's been reflected upon. No reflector, reflector. Okay, simple enough. Now I will say, yeah, I'm getting a little bit, I think, I'm waiting for the picture to appear, a little bit of motion blur because I am shooting at a 60th of a second and I've drank a lot of coffee, my hand holding, solutions here, tripod, you know, or I'll just go faster on my shutter, why not? I'm gonna go to 125 and I'll do the math and go back to f4. Now I'm going really shallow, but I think I can do it. I got faith. We got faith, right? All right, so yeah, let's use the reflector. I'm also going to change my focus point here. This has multiple focus points, which is very fancy. Nice. Good. Now we're a little better. You see that the exposure looks the same because, and see now it doesn't have that motion blur. Nice and sharp, right? Better, right? Like that? She's looking a little more confident in her LinkedIn profile. She's like, I'm the boss. Right. Okay. Now, you may have noticed, by the way, just as an aside there, thank you, Dave, that in this picture I actually got a little lower. Oh, how do you look at two at once? Someday I'll learn how to use a computer, but not today. There we go. I changed my position slightly, and on the left, I'm slightly lower than her. Can you see how that added a little bit of drama to it? So keep that in mind, too, as you're doing things. That's a whole other class, so I'm not going to give you too much there, right? We don't want to give away too much. All right, here we go. All right. All right, here we go. All right, so here we are back at this. This looks nice. She's happy. We're happy, right? We're like, hey, man, that's lit. And it's only like 10 minutes into this, and we only spent half our money, and we can, you know, go have coffee. But we want to use 2 lights. Why? Because when you use more lights, you get paid more. Right? We just...
Back this way a bit, too?
Yeah, let's move back to give some space. So we're going to bring our set away from the wall. That's going to do a couple of things. So I'm just going to talk for a minute. Actually, I've been talking, but I'm going to talk even more. The background, you may have noticed, is gray in the photo, right? That's because some of the light is hitting it. There's probably some light from here affecting it as well, but mostly it's our light just going past her, right? So the further we move our light away from the wall and move her closer to it, the darker our wall should get in theory. So we'll play around a little bit with that by backing the light up, get the background a little bit darker. Because of the nature of our light source and because of how we're lighting her, it's not going to get super dark back there with this scenario. But we'll get it a little bit darker, and then we'll turn this light on for her hair light. But because it's a shoot-through umbrella, some of the light is going to hit the wall, which is going to light it up for us. So we're going to get basically a lit wall from this light. That's why we don't need so much of this light on it. Okay, cool. So hair light, same light. We're going to put it behind her, right? We're going to point it so that the light comes forward to us. And like I said, it's going to give her, yep, we're going to shoot through it again because it's a shoot-through umbrella. I mean, you could bounce into it as well. It would work. You would just lose light. You may notice, because we actually get comments on this all the time, that where the light is, right? Not like that diagram you see online where the hair light is like here, right? Like, no, it's here. It's here because the light goes like this, right? And then the edge of the light is going to come and wrap around. It's going to give us all this extra light over here to light me up because, you know, I'm vain.
And if we were to go like this, we would hit the background.
Right, and if we go like that, it's going to hit the background in a much more uneven direction, right? We want to have it, if it's going to hit it, we want it to be even. All right, so let's hit it. Hit it. Nice.
And how about your light meter? Will you use again?
I am going to use it again. Nice, you like that. You like when I use the light meter. Okay, so I've got the light meter. So one thing you want to be concerned with on some level with your light meter is that you don't want your hair light to be brighter per se, like hitting the back of her head, much brighter than your front light. And the reason for that is you might end up getting flare because let's go no umbrella. Let's do it. we're hardcore. It's going to be a bit brighter, but we don't want it to be super, super bright. You could start to get lens flare if that happens. So just be a little bit concerned about that. I usually try to be like around a stop or so bright or max, but.
One question.
Yes.
Like that's continuous light, right?
That is a continuous light, yes.
How long, like, does it heat it up like too much, or how long?
How long do you put it in the oven for before it's done? That's what he's saying. He said, we got a constant light here. We're making a turkey, right? Okay, right. So yes, these are tungsten lights. They get warm, right? How long before they get warm? They get warm pretty quickly.
No, but I mean like to be dangerous. Like
To be dangerous,
okay.
no. It's,
No?
They won't be dangerous unless you put a piece of paper on them or something.
This
Yeah, I mean, these aren't 250 watts is not a whole heck of a lot of light. You know, if you take a magnifying glass and you're one of those crazy people and you're trying to kill insects, you know, I don't want to know about that. Yes. I could use a 500 watt in that. That's a good question. This is the 250s are the standard with this kit, but it does go up to 500. So if we need more light, and they have a blue bulb if you want to be closer to daylight balance. Okay, so we're f8, right? And we were 5.6 on this one. So well, actually at 125 we're 5.6 and we're f4 on this one. So that's one stop, as I mentioned. That's pretty good. It's almost like I made that up before, like we did. All right, so I'm going to go down and get my camera again. I will not make that noise yet because I don't want you to think I'm working too hard because you'll feel too bad. Now we've got a nice glow to her hair. I'm going to get into my position. Okay. Okay, so now what we want to be concerned with is we don't want her nose to get hit by the light. There we go. Otherwise, she'll have a Rudolph thing. Good. All right, so we got a nice hair light going on there. She's like, right? So she's got a nice glow, nice separation, right? That's worth at least an extra $50, right there, right? I mean, you have somebody who has such wonderful hair, right? She's got lots of hair, not like me, and you know, she's got glow to it. So I like to light it up. I think it looks pretty good. What do you think? What do you think? All right, good. So she's happy. So that's it, right? We spent $150 on a lighting kit. We're able to do a few things. Let's mix it up a little bit, though. Let's put an umbrella on this one and do like maybe a double umbrella or something.
Yeah.
So we'll show us a little bit of variety.
You want to do this like from sides? Like
Yeah, let's go from sides. Yeah, let's make it nice. What am I punching for the hair light? Okay. You will notice, by the way, that super shallow depth of field. Even you know f4 on medium format, that's like crazy. So be wary of that. Her eyeballs are nice and sharp, but her hair falls off into nice goodness. Goodness gracious, right? Great balls of fire. Pretty good, right? Not bad. We're getting it. You guys sold on this? Also, Smith Victor makes a lot of kits that are like this, but they didn't have one here for me to use. That's what I used the last time. I think they're roughly the same price. They're a little bit funkier to put together, but they might be a little bit cheaper too. So, you know, you got options here. They're $30 cheaper, but you got to build the. Yeah, the mounts are better for the Wescott. So there's probably some like old photography. Yes. What aperture are you shooting at? I am shooting at f4. F4 and be there. Right. So our specs are f4. I think we're at 125, and we are at 400 ISO. That is the ISO of Tri-X. Well, 320 for medium format. Okay. So this is how you light somebody when you want to blind them. Now, we're going to basically put a nice amount of light coming from the front, nice and even. Now, this same thing is great if you're going to shoot multiple people because, you know, it's going to be nice and even. So if we end up having to put 2 people in, we can do that. Also, if you put it on 2 stands like this, you can just very simply move the height up and down if you have to shoot a lot of people to adjust it. One thing you want to be wary of, though, is that they're relatively even and that we don't have too much angles on them so we don't get cross shadows. You don't want 2 nose shadows. So you just got to watch that. And it's simple enough to do. You just go right between the light like Dave just did. And let's see. I guess we'll get our light meter. Would you say that's purple or blue?
Blue.
Blue, okay. It's got like a little blue on it.
Colors are always different to people. Colors are always different to people.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's like, I mean, it's definitely in the blue family. So 4.08, so it's a little bit brighter, almost one stop brighter. Why is it one stop brighter? Because there's another light, right? And when I double the amount of light, I go up one stop, right? So, wow, the math actually worked out. That's so weird. Okay, so since I have that, I'll just shoot it at 4 point. I'll shoot it at 4.5. You may notice that if you've been to any of these, and you came back, I'm surprised. No, if you've been to any of these, then usually if I'm using flash, especially powerful flash, I set my camera and I never change it. You'll notice though with these lights, I will change the camera quite a bit because I don't have any ability really to adjust these lights aside from moving them around. There are dimmers available, but if you add a dimmer to a light, basically it will shift the color temperature as you dim, which you don't necessarily want because we want it to be consistent color, right? All right, so look like, okay. Okay, nice and even. Good, 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 here we go. All right, that was a 4.8. There she is, nice. Nice and even. So this is somewhat reminiscent of when we had the reflector, except there's no reflector needed, right? We have a second light source. Super shallow depth of field, nice and even across the face. And actually we get a bit of separation on her hair, even though we don't have a separation light, because these lights are kind of coming around to the side, right? So it doesn't give you that like obvious separation light, but it definitely gives you enough separation that we're not losing her, darker hair against the gray. That make sense? Really easy, really simple. Yeah, let's go even further. Exactly.
Put the reflector back.
Okay. If I put a reflector back here, okay, so the thing with reflectors is this, or the thing with light, right, is that light falls off as it travels. The further away from a subject the light is, the less it becomes, right? We don't notice it so much with, let's say, the sun, because the sun is so far away from us that the distance almost doesn't matter. But here, if I put my light's there, and I put a reflector back here, it has to travel all the ways to the reflector, and then all the ways back to her hair. So it will throw some light back at her hair, but it'll be darker than the light coming from the front. So it probably won't give a true separation. It'll give something, and it's not, if it was completely black behind her and I was losing her hair, it would probably maybe cut it out a bit, but it wouldn't give you that like intense hair light thing. In fact, we can do the hair light with one light thing after. We'll do that next. We'll do it when we do the flash, because I only have one flash. Okay. How's that look? Pretty good?
Can you just say the chat has the link to this?
Okay, so the chat has the link to what, the lights?
Like the U-light.
Oh, to the U-lights in it. So if you're in the chat, you get the link to the U-lights. If you're not in the chat, you can go to the lighting department. Since they got it from me. Bridget over there, hook me up.
Giggles.
Brigitte. All right, so now this is a little bit more dramatic. Yeah. So what's cool here is we got lights on, we're gonna throw a shadow kind of in the middle, which is gonna be kind of a much more of a character light. We are gonna do character lighting next week, so I'm not gonna get too crazy right now. But yeah, so look more character-y. That's how I give my instructions to the model. Oh yeah, that's good. Oh yeah, see, she was looking more character-y. See, that worked, don't make fun of me. Yeah, see? That adds that kind of like, right? It's kind of sloppy light, not really like super nice. It adds like a little bit of something to it, right? I kind of like that for a certain feel. It's not a beauty light by any means. Maybe can we do like a low reflector? Or was it not doing anything? Let's just get some, just so we get a little bit of light in her eyeballs. Yeah. Yeah, so she's still, yeah, now she's like, I have light in my eyes. Nice. Right, so the reflector brings it in a little bit. It leaves a little dirtiness to the light, right? It's not so perfect, but yet it filled it in, so it's not so obvious. So remember that no matter what you got, you can play around. It's throwing obvious, like shadows up under the eyes. This is not what we typically go for in a regular kind of beauty lighting. This is not that, right? We've already moved away from the kind of classic light. We nailed that up front because we're fast. Let's do one more thing though with these before we move on to the flash. Let's do the one light with the hair light thing, where you do the hair light and then we bounce it back. Yeah.
So one front.
Yes, right. So just one light, and then we use the side. So basically, what we're going to do is we're going to take our hair light, and we're going to bounce it back in, and we're going to use basically the reflector as our key or our main light on the face, on the grill, as we say. The grill. That's your face. It's also a thing that you can put on your teeth. So it's both things, yet none of them. So basically, Dave's going to move the light back to be a hair light. I think we're going to go profile. How do I get normal people to deal with the lights that aren't used to bright lights? Well, if those normal people have been outside, these lights are not nearly as bright as being outside. It just feels bright because you're watching it on a video. Now it feels very dark in here. It's very intimate in the studio today. It's not so bright. Look, I'm looking right at it.
Squinting.
Yeah, I'm always squinting. Okay, but what you want to do is not shove a small light source close to somebody's face. This is going to make somebody squint because it's very specular, because it's silver. But if I'm using this card, like if you look towards the card, right, that's not bad, right? Yeah, see? Big, bouncy light source, easier to look at. Small, not bouncy light source, harder to look at. That's why everybody in the world who tries to sell you an LED light shines it in your face, because it's so little, it looks so bright, even though it's not that bright.
We're going to go a little bit to the back behind the right.
Yep, and then she's going to look perfecto. Oh, wow, that's nice. Yep, exactly, like kind of a profile like that. Something like that. All right, so now we have one light. We're going to use this as a hair light because this is brighter, right? This is going to light up the back of her head, and then I'm going to read the reflected light. Okay, so it's only I'm only getting a 2.82. So I'm going to go to, I'm going to do math. I'm going to go to 60th at f4. So I'm going back to a 60th. I'll just be really careful. I could bust a tripod, but I'm being lazy. So I'm going 60 f4, 400 ISO. We're going to have her look towards the reflector a little bit more even. Good. So my depth of field is going to be crazy shallow here. I'm going to focus on the eye that's closest to me. Did kind of an interesting composition. Okay, so we can see this is going to be bright, right? Because our backlight is bouncing back. I'm actually losing detail, so we're going to have to watch that. But look at the light on her face. Look at how beautiful that is across there. So let's move it so we get less. Yeah, there we go. Oh, actually, don't move. That's probably going to be too bright, but it looked kind of cool to me. Oh, interesting. All right, we're going to save that for character light. Don't look at that picture. Stop looking. Stop looking. I see you. No, actually, when you're a photographer, right, and you see things, like I knew that wasn't going to be the right exposure, but it looked kind of interesting. If I see something really cool, digital camera. I just quickly took a picture. If I liked it, like I like the way the light falls, and if we were just messing around trying to do something cool, I would do that. But you guys are here, so you've ruined it for me. Thanks. Then I would start messing with it. But don't spend a lot of time doing technical stuff until you know you're going to like it. So I'll put that in my, my memory as kind of a cool. What is that exactly? Turn back like that again? Oh, it's your hair. Yeah, your hair is creating a loop of light around your eye. So interesting.
Oh, my curl.
Yeah, your curl. It's awesome. I love it. Okay. Oh my God, what? Okay. She purposely styles that one curl just for photo shoots. There we go. All right, sorry. All right, so here we go. Looking at the reflector. Good, good, good. So look, bring your eye centered to your nose. Like don't look at your nose, but just look straight ahead of you. There we go. Yeah, so the reason why I do that is because if people look to the side too much, they get like uneven eyes. Okay, so it's a little soft because I shook, but the light is actually nice. Let me do one more. I'm actually going to bump my ISO up because I feel like, I can go to 3.2. This is a 3.2 lens. It's crazy. What's that?
I look like the president.
You do look like the president. I'd vote for you. I actually think I did vote for you. It's weird. All right, here we go. Beauteous. Good, here we go. Oops, blink, one more. Good, nice. All right, so, oh yeah, it's a smidge on the dark side, but it looks good. That's what happens when you start doing math without using the light meter. Actually, if you've gone this far and you're a little bit dark, one trick is just to grab your tethering software and drag it till it looks good. About right there, I think. About 7/10 of a stop. Okay, so I got to come up 2/3. So I got to give myself a little bit more light. So I'm going to go to my, I'm going to go here. All right, I'm going to go to a 90th. I think that'll work. Okay. One more. What should be noted as well is that this technique of using the card, this could be any light, right? And to demonstrate that, see I did that, a little segue. I'm going to use a different light. Let's use this flash. So this flash is the, oh, can you get the house lights, please, Seth? This flash is the something flash?
Budget flash?
Budget flash. 120. That doesn't mean it costs $120. It actually only costs $12. Actually, I don't know how much it costs. These used to have prices on them. I think it's around, oh, $50, right? 50 bucks. Get you the Budget Studio Flash. Very, very inexpensive, right? It contains one monolight. That's all we need. So we've got this guy. This is going to give us flash. If you've ever seen, okay, if you've ever seen anything I do, one of the advantages of flash is that it's powerful in the sense that your shutter speed becomes a lot less relevant, right? Because your flash is going to overpower the light in the space, meaning that if there's no ambient light hitting the subject, only the flash duration is basically their shutter speed, is what I should say. So basically your flash is only firing for a little bit of a second. I think this one is pretty short considering how cheap the flash is. I think it tells you. It does not tell you, but I believe that it's not, I think I looked it up, it's not too bad. It's definitely faster than a 60th of a second, which is what we're shooting at. So the flash is going to help us stop the action. This also has what's called a modeling light. So the modeling light is basically a small constant light that is going to help us aim it, right? That makes your life a lot easier. It's plugged into the wall. I'm going to use the sync cord to operate it because we're on a budget. That's why we have the budget flash. You can also use some kind of radio or something as time goes on. This is going to allow us to fire the flash. So I'm just going to start.
Want to do the same setup?
Yeah, let's do the same setup.
The link for this is in the chat as well.
What's that?
The link in the chat as well.
Oh, okay, the link for this is also in the chat. Thanks, Seth. We're killing it.
Well, you're speaking Dutch, but I'm guessing that's what they're saying.
So, all right, so I'm going to go back down to 100 ISO. Why? That's how I roll. I'm going to go to let's go to 250. And then what happens is I'm going to move my mode on my flash meter to what they call corded flash, meaning that when I push the button, don't look at it, it flashes, right? Did it again. Watch this, right? Easy as that. So take my flash. I'm going to point it at my subject. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to take my meter. I'm going to meter. In the meantime, I'm going to lower my ISO on my camera. I'll do it from here because I'm a baller. To 100 ISO. And I believe, let's see, I'm going to shutter up to 250. So why 250, why 100 ISO? Well, at this point, I don't want to pick up any of the ambient light. So I want to give myself the situation where when I make a photo, there's nothing affected because I only want this to affect my shot. So let's do a quick meter reading. F4.4 is what I'm getting. I'm going to come over here to my flash, which has some kind of dial in the back. Let's see, we'll go there. Oop, it made a beepy sound. I think that's good. I'm going to go like that. 562, we'll go there. All right, so flash is reading 5.6. That's what the camera's set at. 2/50th of a second, 100 ISO. You will be tested on this later. I mean, as it turns out, this camera does not have what they call a PC sync or a place to plug this cord in. If your camera is like that and you only have a hot shoe on top, you can get the little adapter. This is a Nikon AS15, so if you need to use a flash and you don't have that, as long as you have a hot shoe, you're good to go. It plugs right in. Thank you, Nikon. Okay, so 5.6, 250, 100 ISO. You're going to look towards the board again, please. All right, here we go. She's looking very blue because I didn't change the white balance, but I'm going to do it anyways because, see, told you. She's so blue. All right, let me change my white balance. So my white balance is on as shot. I'm going to change it to flash. Perfect. Okay, so White balance flash, right? That fixed that. Now she's frozen. You can see she's frozen, right? Look at that, crispy. Just like I like my Kentucky Fried Chicken. There's spicy and there's extra crispy, right? And there's original. Is that the three kinds? It is, right? Okay. Okay, ready? One more time. Do you think you can move? No, like during the shot?
During it?
Yeah, like you don't have to do that. Any kind of movement will be good. All right, we're gonna try to stop the action. All right. I'll tell you when. Let me focus first. And go. There we go. All right, so she moved a little bit. We should theoretically be frozen.
Here's
Yep.
a lot of focus, but
I'm a little out of focus, but she is frozen. That's not camera shake. That is, I mean, yeah. I'm focused down here, I guess. Because I pre-focused and then she moved out of the focus, but we can see that she is frozen. That's the advantage of flash, really, right? That's our advantage of flash. And actually, we did flash versus constant light last week, so I won't get super into it, but that's basically one of the big advantages. But now I've got this $50 flash, and I'm able to stop action, and I'm able to kill the light in the space, and I'm able to make a pretty nice shot, right? With a $50 flash and a piece of foam board, right? Not bad? No? You happy?
When it comes together, like to hold the package, to hold the bouncer line, the bouncer board.
a lot more expensive.
Does the bounce board come with the thing? Listen, do you want everything? No, it doesn't come with that. Find your own bounce board. No, you can get it at a drugstore, yes.
Is that head strong enough to use it as a shoot through?
That's a good idea. He's like, I don't like that, Daniel. That's not what he said. He said, what if I want to use an umbrella? Because I love umbrellas. Umbrellas are my favorite thing. Sure, of course.'s do it. Let's throw the umbrella on here. Why not? So we'll pop the umbrella in here. It should go somewhere around here, I guess right there.
It didn't come with the umbrella.
No, it does not come with an umbrella. It's all a la carte when you buy this guy.
Sweet, thanks, Alex.
Thanks, Alex.
What are we doing? Shooting through it?
We're going to shoot through it. So we're going to have, I will move it back to the front like a beauty shot, right? Why not? Is that what you like? That's what he likes.
What do you like? What do you want?
What do you like? What do you like?
Let's see. Man, shake, man.
Okay. Any questions so far? Simple enough? Yes.
The continuous lights, with that particular package, is there any other modifiers that you can use other than the umbrellas, or is that just basically?
Okay, so that's a good question, right? So let's say you get the package, it comes with the umbrellas. Is there anything else I can use with it? I'm going to say no. The answer is actually yes. But the reality of the situation is that if a softbox for a constant light source is going to cost you more than that whole kit of lights. So you'd probably be better off if you were going to want a different modifier like a softbox. They have a version that's called the Ulite softbox kit, which has the same lights that are basically softboxes, and you'd probably be better off just buying a set of those. I think there might even be a set, it's $200 for that one, and you get 2 of those. So if you want different modifiers or you want to mix it up and add, I would just buy that kit instead. That being said, a bare head, right, without the umbrella is really versatile because you could use an umbrella, obviously, like we did here. You could bounce things off a board like we did. You can think of creative ways to shape the light. And is it going to go on Facebook? I'm going to say it is. If you check out our Facebook tomorrow, we'll say at the latest, Seth just did a thing because it went on Instagram, but it got bumped because the Instagram went crazy, where he used a frame with some speed lights. You could use that frame with these, right? There's a lot of things you could use that aren't light dependent. But typically when people say other modifier, you're thinking like, immediately my mind goes to like a beauty dish or a, softbox. That's not going to go on that now. I mean, but that being said, you could put it on some of the smaller stuff, on the flash probably. Some things like that. Okay, budget flash, right in her grill in the front. All right, I got my light meter. I'm at, like I said, 250, 5.6, 100 ISO. I don't know if I've gotten like taller or if these cords have gotten shorter since I was first started buying lights. I feel like they used to be really long. Now look how short it is. That's not a complaint. It's $50. What do you want? All right, here we go. All right, I'm getting almost F11.
What are you set at? Camera?
250. I'm set at 5.6. I want 5.6. Yep. I'm just going to keep pressing the button randomly for some reason. 8.6. Well, it didn't dump. All right. 5.6.7.
All the way down.
4.9. Okay, so that's 5. So give me a little bit. 4.8. That actually went up. A little bit more. 563. Okay. Let me just do it again to make sure. See, I managed to do that each time, and I never hit you in the face with it. I'm pretty good with this.
You asked me if you always need to turn the ceiling lights off to work with these.
Okay, so you do you need to turn the ceiling lights off? Not with the flash.
Not with the flash.
Not with the flash. With the tungsten lights, you're probably going to want to. It depends on where you are. Like, we can actually mix them together. We happen to have tremendously bright lights in here because, you know, this is an event space, so when you stand up and do stuff. In your apartment or house, it's probably not that bright. You could probably leave lights on. You probably don't have to kill everything when you use the tungsten lights. Okay. All right, so here we go. Looking good. Nice. All right, so we got a nice, kill myself over here on the cords. There we go. Nice flash shot from the front. Somebody requested that. It was a long time ago. I forgot who. Was that you? Yes. You don't even remember. It was so long ago. Okay. You don't even remember your own question. That's right. We could also bounce with the umbrella. But before we do that, let's fill in and make a finished shot. All right. So we're going to use this as our fill. Actually, do we have the silver one?
Yeah, I think that.
We have a silver one, too.
Yeah, I got it.
Seth went to arts and crafts class.
I went to 2 colleges, but okay.
In college. Well, they don't have arts and crafts class in college. He made this silver one.
I don't think so.
The silver one will be more reflective.
In theory,
In theory, yeah. Here we go.
super speculative.
It's super specular, so we'll see where it goes. Nice. It's punchy, right? Brightens her up. A little more glamoury.
It's like kind of dull.
At the deli. You got it at the deli. Okay. Right? Silver gives us a little bit more punch, a little bit more funky. What did you want to do? You want to do a bounce umbrella. Yeah, let's bounce it. We can also bounce from the umbrella. I mean, why not, right? And it'll spread the light out more.
Not
And-
metering because
Oh, you're not. Dave's not gonna. Dave doesn't think we need to meter it because he knows.
no. I'm saying maybe tell them like a quick way to.
Yeah, because the light is further away now, right? So theoretically it'd be darker, right? But at the same time, you're not going through the diffusion. So it should be. Or are you saying we should use a guide number?
Or we should do the quick and dirty method and just.
We just take a picture. All right, Dave's saying just do it. He's like sick of me using the meter. I'm only required to use the meter 4 times in the demo. I've done it that much. Okay, here we go. If you're not getting poked in the eye with the umbrella, you're not doing it right. Okay.
People are confused with
Okay.
Monolight, and they're asking
Oh.
why you're not getting a mix of colors.
Okay, that's a good question. This is the modeling light. There are many like it. This one is mine. Oops. That doesn't lock down very well. What do you expect for 60 bucks? Why am I not getting a weird color mix? Well, frankly, the modeling light is tremendously weak compared to the flash. Let me unplug the flash. Oh, I'm getting electrocuted. Touch that. Okay. All right, here we go. Here we go. Modeling light only. Okay. What happened there? Nothing, right? Why? This is not very bright. These lights are not bright compared to the flash. That's why when I say flash, I say flash, because it's just powerful, right? Exactly. So, in any case, we're going to remeter because we know it's a little bit dark. Did that answer the question? I'm sorry if that got confusing. The modeling light is only for aiming, okay? Doesn't really affect your exposure unless you start going really slow on the shutter. That's why we're not getting a weird color mix. Plus, color science is all made up, and it's a lie. I'm just kidding. What's that color theory? That's why it's only theory, not science. There we go. All right, it's 4.7. Let's give ourselves a little more juice because I'm shooting at 5.6 and a half.
We'll go down a little bit.
Oh, you know what it is? I think I'm
You're
I'm
going
shooting too fast.
Is it 5.63?
There we go. Perfect. That's where I want to be.
So they're asking why I made that into silver.
So how did Seth make that into silver? I believe that he used glue,
Spray glue and
spray glue, and aluminum foil, and a little bit of love.
A lot of love.
A lot of love.
And it's got beat up.
Actually, doing it with aluminum foil does require a lot of love. You can also get reflective silver paper from the art store. Okay, so I've re-metered and I'm now shooting with the flash again. Okay, we should get a picture, hopefully. There it is. There she is. She's all lit up. She's lit. Is lit a good thing? It is, right? Lit, okay, yeah, she's lit. Yeah. It's important to have as many cables as possible coming off your camera. As, you know, it makes you look more professional. All right, so that's the flash from the front with the reflector, right? But okay, let's actually take this thing to a next level. We're not getting mixed color with this because it's not really affecting our shot. But what if another light did affect our shot? What if we wanted to use a hair light? Because remember what happens when you use two lights? You get paid more, exactly. So what if we took this light and we aimed it at the back of her head, right, ish, to give us a hair light? What do you think? Should we try it? Let's try it. We're doing it. We're on it. I mean, I bought that light. I want to get some paid. Bring the Benjamins in. Oh, it is tungsten, yes. We're in trouble, aren't we?
Something bad's going to happen.
Yes.
Might use the shiny side of the foil, not the dull.
Right, so make sure you use the shiny side of the foil, not the dull side.
Unless you want dull.
Yeah, unless you want dull reflection. Now, if you're making a baked potato, you put the dull side out.
There's a whole discussion.
I will say that what I do now when I bake potatoes is I poke a lot of holes in it, right? And then I take some olive oil and rub it all over the potato with salt, right? Kosher salt. Then I wrap it up in the tin foil. That makes the skin delicious.
Makes it kosher.
It does make it kosher because it's kosher salt. Okay. All right, good. All right, we've added the light. And because we're adding the light, and because it's wrong, I'm just a rebel. I'm just going to shoot it. At this point, I'm just like, I'm here. I'm in it. I'm in the moment. Bring your face slightly this way. Good. Beautiful. Here we go. Nice.
Question about using a gel to match the color balance.
Okay. So we'll cover that right now. A couple of things are happening here. We're getting the ever so slight separation light. Oh, look at that. It's got a little bit of warm tone to it, right? But it doesn't really look bad, right? So, although I feel like the overall image is a little bit blue. Yeah, can we tweak that color? Yes, you can mix lights. Yes, they will be different colors. Sometimes it's acceptable, right? It kind of depends on what you're going for. If we were shooting this for, Maria just got her hair done at a salon and they wanted a reference of the color that they made, yeah, I definitely wouldn't want to be adding weird color into the shot, right? I want the color to be accurate. If I'm just making a nice photo, the background has got a little bit of a blue tone to it. The hair's a little bit warm. It gives a separation. It kind of works for me. I'm not opposed to having her hair be a little bit warm. How can we fix it, though, if we don't want that, right? That's really the question. You got a few solutions. One of them is to use a gel. Okay, so gels are essentially pieces of plastic that go in front of your light source that change the color. That could be it makes it red if for a special effect, or purple. It could be that it does a color correction. In other words, matches light temperatures. You could put a CTB, color temperature blue, gel onto the tungsten light, which would make it daylight balance or flash balance, right? Or you could put a CTO gel, orange, onto our flash, and that would make it the color of the tungsten light, right? We have both options available to us. Which one am I going to do? I mean, neither really. Which one would I do? Oh, look, we even have gels. We can do it. I'm always going to put my gel on the strongest light, right? If I put it on my, because it eats light, right? It eats a stop or more of light. If I put it on this light, that means that I'm going to have to compensate a lot for it. This light is much more powerful. I can just dial it up. So even though you might think, because everybody thinks in daylight, like I want all my lights to be daylight. No, I would make my camera set on tungsten, and I would make my flash match it. The only time that is not the case is if there's like a lot of one kind of light and only one of the other kind. Then I would just do the one you only have one of, because that's easier and I'm lazy. Right? Simple as that?
Or if you want the effect.
Yeah, let's go CTO, or if you want an effect. I actually like the warmth in her hair, but since you guys hate it. Oh, you hate it? Wow, I can't believe how much he jumped right on. He was like, I hate that. I hate you. Why am I even here? I'll take a full CTO, please. Wow, that's warm. Okay, here's the thing. So let's talk for a second. Because here I've been telling you, hey guys, here's a bunch of cheap lights, you can make good pictures. Here's where you're going to have issues, or you might have a problem.
We have to use the color.
Consistency is not going to be the most in inexpensive things. So Dave's commenting that we had to make an adjustment to almost 7,500 Kelvin for this flash to make it look balanced right to his eye. It should be around 56 or even 6,000, right? That means that, I mean, based on Dave's eye, which is pretty good, it's probably colder than it should be, which means this might not compensate all the way. We'll find out, right? The better your gear, the more, better meaning more expensive, almost always, the more consistent it's going to be in color, in exposure, in all that. So just keep that in mind. No, let's try that. Let's just put that in front. You want to just jam it up there? You got something to stick it with, like tape?
You want to clip it or tape it?
Piece of tape will work.
Yeah, we can put a little bit. Usually you're not going to want to use tape for this, but this modeling light is so weak that it's not going to be a problem. And plus we can just turn the modeling light off. The reason why you don't want to use tape is because the modeling light will melt the tape and make it gross.
I do like the pink.
We had the pink tape, which is nice.
And put it like this.
That's a cool design. Nice. Okay, that's going to eat some light. So what we're going to do is we're going to do some tests.
That helps with eating less light, I think. I
What's-
don't know why, but it just might.
It's going to help. All right. I'm just going to go like this.
Just might.
So this also has a what they call non-corded flash mode, which means you don't have to plug the cord in. You just press the button. Since it's right here, I can do that. 287. 42. 46.
They just looked up the price of your house at
Oh.
You know, if you have one, why wouldn't you use?
Okay, so 4.9 at full power, because the gel ate a lot of power, right? Now, I will say that I went from, I think, 8th power to full power, and it only went up like about a stop and a half, which is a little weird. But anyways, you know, this is the nature of the beast. I'm going to shoot at it. I'm going to shoot with it because we're here, and, you know, hey, that's what I'm here for. I'm going to, by the way, this has a touch screen on the back, just like your iPhone.
It's a little more expensive than the iPhone.
Well, not the iPhone 10. The iPhone 10 costs like almost as much. Okay, so I'm going to go to 4.8. So it's going to be a tiny bit underexposed, but. All right, so we're going to switch the white balance. I am a mess here. I'm going to switch the white balance here to.
Let's drop it down.
Yeah,
Because the
to
tungsten is-
tungsten. There we go. Wow.
Yeah, it's too blue.
It's so blue. I'm gonna switch it to tungsten. I mean, you're not. I'm not sure if like you want to catch me screwing up or if you think I'm really gonna nail it, because it's already getting ready to take a picture. All right, here we go. You ready? Oh, sorry. Oh, and Dave's bringing the reflector. We are not messing around. Here we go. So 2 things are happening here. Hopefully 3 things. 1, it's blue. Okay, that is crazy magenta. Oh my God. That is terrible. Do not buy this flash. Oh, what's happening? No, do we have the digital target?
Yeah.
It's inside your tripod.
Okay, let's get the digital target out, guys, because this is pretty bad. All right, so this is my tripod. Anyways, a couple things happened here. Number 1, Dave fixed it, thank you, because he's good. That's a tripod. I don't know why I took that out. Let's say that you're not Dave, because nobody's really Dave except for Dave. And you can't do it by eye. You might want one of these. Nothing up my sleeve. This is a digital target. There are many like it. This one is mine. This is a really small reflector, but this is a digital target. All right, so we're going to have her hold it in front of her grill. We're going to make a photo of it, and this is going to help us hit our white balance. Okay, here we go. All right, there we go, digital target. I'm a mess over here. Beautiful. Now we'll do a custom white balance off of the digital target by clicking on the gray area. There we go.
3,500 minus 74.
Okay, 3,500. So that means the light bulb. We'll see what happens.
Minus 74.
Minus 74. Minus 74. Have you ever been shot by a minus 74 light before? Never. Okay, so here's the thing. Some people might be asking, Daniel, good?
Yeah, let me get in there.
Look at the reflector in there.
That changes.
What's funny is this is a mirrorless camera. I mean, that part's not funny. But it's like registering that white balance weirdness inside the camera so she looks super green. It's so interesting. You're green with envy. All right, so there we go. Now she looks good. However, wow, I like how we're running into these weird problems. No, it's good though. Look at the color of the light on her hair. All right. So now she's like one of those cool kids that puts some green in her hair, right? Okay, so now what's more acceptable, right? This is what we come down to. So let's say that this is our budget. This is what we bought. This is our light. We're living with it, right? I can't just run over there and get my Pro Photo lights and cry like I want to. No. So because the light in and of itself was not accurate to start off with, when we added a gel, which is very precise, it started getting all wacky. I think in this case, I would just let it be warm, right? It seems to me that it makes more sense to have warmth on her hair than green. Unless she likes the green, then you're good to go. If I shoot through instead, would it help? Probably not, because I've got the feeling it's not the umbrella that's the problem. It's more likely the flash itself. Cool. All right. It could also be hitting the blue. I mean, it could be. Let's try it. I'm going to say, people ask questions sometimes, and they say, do you think this? And I immediately give the answer that I think is correct, but I would be a fool, and this is in life in general, to not try something if I have the opportunity. So let's just spin it around and see if it makes a difference. Yeah, let's shoot through it. We'll give it a shot.
How did you change this white balance with this custom?
How did I do it?
Yeah.
How did I change the white balance? Magic. Okay, so that's a digital target. This is designed for white balance. This is completely neutral, right? Meaning that if I photograph this and then I tell my camera, this is neutral or white, if you're doing white balance, then it will correct the light to make this look correct for the computer, right? This is not a gray card like you would use for this. I was talking about this last week, but I said it in a funny way. There are gray cards that you can get that are for exposure for black and white photography. That's not what you want. This is a color card. I mean, it also happens to be gray. What's cool about this, and I did a video on this that you guys can see. It was part of a video anyways. This is actually designed so you can get a good histogram. So if you don't have a meter, you can also use this for exposure. You have the person hold it, you keep photographing it, and then you adjust your exposure until you get a perfect histogram, and then you're good. So that's another way to set an exposure. It is not the fastest way, but this is much less expensive than the, yes.
How would you use that? I mean, I know you already use it with like 2 different lights, but if you're trying to get the white balance of the flash, would you have to then like turn her around and get the white balance of that too? Or how would that work? Would it just make sense?
No, okay, so that's a good question. So if I'm trying to get the white balance of, when you're doing a custom white balance, all you care about is the lights that bouncing back towards the camera. You can't worry about everything else. Like if I'm photographing somebody in a space and I do a custom white balance, I'm going to care about the light on them. I don't care about the rest of the space, which means it's never going to be perfect if you're not in a studio environment that's, that's all equal in lighting. So like if I was to photograph a portrait, let's say of you out here in Adorama, I could white balance you, but then the store is going to go a weird color. It's just the nature of it. You wouldn't do multiples. I mean, in this case, if I was actually in this situation, I had to make a perfect color, which I don't have to because it's my show, I can do what I want. I would actually, at this point, I would gel the tungsten light, even though I just told you shouldn't do that. Why? Because I know that even though this bulb was $5, that it's accurate. Because tungsten lights are just accurate. Like you hardly ever get one that's really off in color unless they're very old. Do we remeter it or no? Yeah. Good, perfect. Thanks, Dave.
Answer a camera question.
Sure, I'll answer a camera question while I shoot.
Difference between this 50 megapixel and the Canon
Oh boy.
5D SR, which is also 50 megapixel.
Let's see. So there's a question about megapixels and medium format. Actually, I do plan on doing a video about this, but the main difference between something like, what's a little on the darker side? Oh, also we know that reflector.
Yeah, that might help.
Still got the green going on. So that didn't help with the green thing. Let's do the reflector though, because that's kind of nice.
You want to turn off?
So here's the thing: you don't get what the Monolight?
No, I mean let it go warm.
Yeah, let it go warm. All right, so here's the thing, and I'll only talk briefly about this because if you've ever watched anything I ever do, I'm not the most technical person in the world, especially with cameras. Yeah. This is a 16-bit sensor, okay? So that's like way more color information than you get on typically sensors. That's really what you're paying for with medium format for the most part. Like there's a lot to it, but that's the thing, right? So yeah, that's it. I mean, if you have like a 50 millimeter, you have an 80 megapixel Canon, blah, 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 whatever you got, it still isn't 16-bit. So you might have more file size, you don't have the color depth. So it depends on what you're doing. What's that? Yeah, exactly. So that's really the main reason why I would use a camera like this. So if you're doing things that color is really important, that's probably also why this is so bad. Cameras that have crappy color actually are better for bad colored lights because you never have good color. What happened there? We switched back the color.
You have
We got to go back to flash. We're testing you guys. There we go. All right, now we got the warm hair again. We're back to Dave's fixing the flash color, and we're there. Wow, this was an oddball one. We've actually used these before without this color issue, which goes to show you that the other thing you pay for besides reliability is consistency. That being said, for 50 bucks, you can't go wrong, right? What do you think? Mario actually owns 3 of these. I do have this, though. I don't know if that camera was on or not. This is an AC slave. You see that? That's an E26 base or E25. Basically, this is a standard household base. When I screw this into a socket, could be any socket as long as it's a proper socket, like a household socket, you can put it in your house. You could put it into the empty one of these, right? This will then be powered. It has in it an eye, the slave eye. That means it's going to fire whenever it sees another flash, which means I can take my cheap tungsten screw-in light bulb system and turn it into a flash system by just using this. And these are somewhere around $20 or so, I think, I'll say. $30, there it is 45 watt seconds, which is a little bit less than a speed light. That one I think is a Smith Victor. But Flashpoint makes them, or Glow, or whatever the heck they call it. I think you have to take the reflector off. Oh, is it in there all the way? Is it on?
Yeah.
Oh, if it's not firing up, you got to take the reflector. No, should be.
Oh, this is, yes.
There we go. All right, green light means it's getting power. Orange light, I think, or whatever other light will tell me that it's ready. There it is. Then it fires, right? I know, it's crazy, right? What's happening there? Now, let's say I have those cheap hardware store lights. Yeah, that'll work in there, yes.
Is there any time lag when it shoots, because you said it shoots when it sees another flash? Is there any time lag between?
So is there a time lag between the two firing? 7 minutes. No, I'm just kidding. No, effectively no. Oh, okay, so this is a flash, right? So in theory, we should get proper temperature, color. We can also now crank our shutter up if we wanted to, back to where it was, so we can eliminate any of the light in the space. Although we're already at 5.6, 250. That's pretty good. All right, so let's see what happens. Do we think it's going to fire? Can we test it?
We did not.
Oh yeah, look at that, it fired. Now I'm blind. Blinded by the light.
Let me move this guy out of this.
This is why I usually don't use a strap. All right, are you guys excited? It's pretty cool, right? All right, here we go. The only downside to these, no modeling light. So we don't know really where it's going to be. This one has the modeling light so we can aim it. That one we just got to kind of eyeball and be like, oh, I think it's fine. All right, here we go.
Oh,
Also, we didn't meter it because we can't control it anyway, so let's just see what happens.
let me,
Oh. No reflector because I jumped the gun. Ooh, it's bright. Wow, that's bright, right? So we can turn this one up, right? We might be. Can this one turn? I just turned this one up, some unknown amount because I wasn't looking at it. All right, so the way I would do this, or am I going to do it, is I'm going to take my meter, and I'm going to have Dave help me because Dave's good. And he's going to fire that one so I can meter the back of her head. 5, 6, 9. So we want F8, so ish or more on the front. So we go like this. 8, 9. That actually might be okay. Should we go? Let's bring this one down to stop. Oh, you know what, too, though? Hold on a second. I have to do the special technique.
Yeah.
There we go. 8, 4. 803, that's pretty good. It's a little bit brighter than the back. Okay, the reason why I did that is because I'm cool. No, because basically when I had the meter here, it was picking up some of the light from the back too, and I only want to get a reading on my front light.
I feathered this off.
And Dave feathered it, because that's how I used to wear my hair in the 80s, feathered.
Now it's good because of the light is
Okay. I did, I'm serious. All right, so F8. Okay. They should put Pac-Man in these cameras. I always feel like what do. Okay. We're at F8 now.
You can use your tether.
Oh, I got to plug the camera in. Okay. Hold on, guys. Let me plug the camera in. We got it. I'm under control. That one's lost to the netherworld. There we go. Oh, that's pretty groovy, right? So now we've got nice clean hair light from the back. It's on the wrong side, but it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's put it on the other side. Okay, so the links to all the goodness are in the chat. Seth took care of us there. Also, there are other options for things too. So like we're using the budget flash 120. I think there's like a budget flash 160 and 161 or whatever. You know, they got different ones if you want more power or less power. And then the AC slaves also come in a variety of different powers. Okay. Here we go. Good. All right. Nice.
I'm more expensive.
Dave is more expensive than anything, but well worth it. All right, here we go. Good. Ah, nice. I got a little light on her nose, which remember we were talking about before, and I said don't get light on people's nose. Well, there's no modeling light, so I couldn't see. So I got to. There we go. Thanks. Cool. There we go. Now we got matched color. She's looking good for LinkedIn. She's nice and sharp. I'd hire you to be my CEO. There you go. Questions? Oh, 2 questions. Yes, go.
The bulb is non-adjustable. It flare at full power every time?
That's right. There is no power adjustment on this. It's always full power. You use the inverse square law.
Or feathering.
Or feathering. Yes. Okay. Okay, so that's a good question. If you leave more space between the umbrella itself and the flash, is it softer? It kind of depends, right? Because if my flash is so close to the umbrella that I don't actually fill the entire umbrella, then it will not be the size of the umbrella, right? It'll be smaller than that. As long as it's filling the umbrella, then it should be the same. If you back it up too far, it will actually creep around. So you'll waste light, essentially. So it depends. I mean, go ahead and fire it, and I'll look at it. Yeah, it's filling most of the umbrella. I think we're pretty good. We could probably make it a little bit wider, but I think it's pretty good. Other questions? That was a good observation, though. Yes?
What is that called?
That? This is a PhotoVision digital target. PhotoVision digital target, 14 inches.
You just ask for digital.
Or just say digital target in the lighting department. They'll know what you're talking about because these are super, super popular, really convenient. Yes.
This thing is that slave, like the top of the flash? Or
Yeah,
not?
the thing that's firing the flash?
Yeah.
It's basically an adapter. So my camera does not have an X-Sync because more and more things are radio, so they're starting to eliminate them from cameras. I have a hot shoe on top though. So this little device just goes on the hot shoe. This is a Nikon AS15. And basically it just gives me the sync port. So little sync port in front, hot shoe in the bottom, you're done.
What's it called again?
AS15. What's going to happen is you're going to go up there, and this costs $15, I think, or $20 or $30, and you're going to see one that is $5.
Don't do it.
Buy an AS15. These are the ones that work all the time. It's. I don't care what camera you have. You got you got a Canon or whatever, and you're all weird because it's Nikon. Too bad. This is the one you want to get. Okay. Put a piece of tape over it. Okay. Questions? Nothing. All right. Let's do. Where are we at time-wise?
6:15.
Oh, all right, we're good actually. So let's do one more thing. What do we want to do? Something fun? Yeah, she wants to do something fun. Let's use every light that we have. Oh, we can't because we don't have another socket. Let's use 3 lights at least then. So now we're going to mix a little color in, right? Let's have a little fun. We're not going to worry about doing the color balance thing because we learned that this light has terrible color.
What about a color effect?
A color effects filter is a good idea. Let's go. What color do you like? Red, purple, green, purple?
Purple?
Purple. I love purple. All right, we're going to go purple. We have the Roscoe kits here. They are very cool. If you guys don't know what to buy when you're buying gels, start with the kit. You can buy gels, of course, independently. There's a whole big thing of them in the back you guys can look at. But these are great because they just give you a bunch, you know? 90. I don't know what 90 means, but we're going to do it. So we're going to put a gel on what? The flash?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Do it. All right. This is purple. Oh, nice. This is from the Cinegel. No, this is from CalColor. Oh, this is actually color correcting gels. This is a 90 lavender. I actually have lavender growing in my yard. It's very refreshing, and it keeps the deer away. Yeah.
That's
So we can see how lavendery it makes Dave. By the way, if you're doing like really color specific stuff, these are the ones you want to get, the CalColor. They give you the certain amount of color correction. You can also just get, you know, digital after dark. That's for like the sexy time. Diffusion, if you want to be diffused. Oh, I'm showing them to nobody. This one here with the person with the torch. That's a good one. Cinegel sampler. There's 2 of those, I guess. So yeah, there's a whole bunch of these. Oh, they all have torch people on them.
These are from the hands-on.
Oh, they're from the hands-on thing. Thanks, Roscoe, for hooking us up. They're super nice. Chad has amazing red hair. I know you also have nice red hair, but his hair, he's got the beard. Come on. Don't be jealous. All right, so. We're going to go purple on the flash.
Key light, the tungsten.
Key light tungsten.
Through the umbrella.
Through the umbrella.
Purple on this guy.
Perfect.
From the side.
From the side. Okay.
I don't know, I'm just doing
Yeah, I got it.
And then something else going on with that guy.
Okay, perfect.
Well, it's Flashpoint though, so.
Yeah, so look, why don't we do this? Let's go key light, tungsten, and then do fill underneath with the flash to give blue shadows
With that?
with this guy. And then we'll go purple on the other one. Yeah, all right, let's do it. So yeah, I'll do this one. All right, so we're gonna set this up and I'm gonna walk through the whole process. So basically we just said a bunch of words that don't really mean anything. And now we're gonna make it happen. I'm gonna take my light, this is the flash. I'm going to put it underneath her. This is gonna be, we're gonna do kind of what they call clamshell lighting, I guess. I mean, I don't like to name things, but I feel like people like when things are named. Yes?
Would this then overpower the tungsten because it's at full all the time?
Would this overpower the tungsten because it's at full all the time? I guess we're gonna find out.
I'm gonna unplug this from the camera.
Hold on, weren't you at the tungsten versus constant light class where I talked about this? Okay. Okay, so I will say this. This is going to be a pretty hard light. So
Just bounce it into.
should we bounce into the card?
Yeah.
Okay. Or we can do an umbrella, yeah.
Yeah, but we're gonna do an umbrella on the.
On the purple too.
Oh, Actually, on the purple we can go hard.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, let's go umbrella down here. All right, so this is one advantage to the C-stand. It gives you the little, with the arm, you can get this little action going on here. It feels real professional. All right, so we got this. And the good thing about umbrellas is they're cheap, so if you like break it and stuff, doesn't matter. All right, so this is going to be an underneath light. It's going to shine up and fill in the shadows on her face, right? The shadows that are going to be created by the tungsten light here. We're going to set our white balance to be tungsten, so that means our shadow will be blue, right? It's going to be the opposite. So we'll start with these two, and then we'll add the purple as we go. Although we technically can't do that because I can't fire this one with, yep. Yeah, let's kill the overall lights in here because we're about to get crazy. It's about to go down. Yeah, well, you know, this is fun.
This is fine.
Listen, I want you to know that you should not be afraid to do this. Like, you know, whatever. It is what it is. The shot is what matters. The question becomes, will that little sync cord fit in this bad boy? Because I can just do the two lights to start with.
Oh,
can I have that end of it till I see? 'Cause I think this is actually a master slave, and I don't think it'll fit because this is a mini.
Yeah.
Okay, so no.
Well, you can reach.
Okay, so we're going to use all three lights because that's how we roll.
You want to go like hard from the side?
Yeah, let's go hard from the side. Uh-oh. All right, good. I feel like at the end of the concert where everybody runs to the front. No, not for that. For like the last song, it's like, you know, you've had the crappy seats in the back, and you're like, they're not going to throw me out now. The security doesn't care anymore. I'm going to come to the front for that last song. That's really what you came there for, anyways. Was that one hit they haven't played in a long time? All right. All right. So we're metering. I'll fire it for you, or I guess you can do it yourself. If you ever want to fire the meter, I'll teach you a little trick. You just touch it against. Oh, I'll say this bracelet. No, any metal will do it. You just close in the circuit. See that? The bottom guy should fire, but it might be off, or it's not seeing it. Is it on?
It might be off.
Let me go inside. No, it's on. Okay, try it again. Nope, didn't.
Let me actually get that.
No, I would have seen it. Okay, so it's not firing because it's not that sensitive. Because can you step back? I'm going to pull this out. It doesn't see it, so. I'm going to take the reflector off because I don't think that matters. Yeah, there you go. It's like I'm making a drink over here. There we go. All right. All right. Try it now before we do the umbrella, just to make sure. No. Yeah. No, that's not firing.
Yeah.
Believe me, you'll know when it fires. Watch. There you go.
That fired this one.
Indeed, but did this come with a?
the umbrella? Like,
Yeah, try it. But if we don't have a sync cord, we can't.
yeah, that works. But we
It
don't.
did? Well, hold on. Let me see if they came with the sync cord in the box. All right, so when you're using optical slaves, you got to make sure they see each other. This is kind of the key here. Nope, didn't come with a sync cord. All right. Oh man, we were going to do something awesome for you guys, but it's ruined now. I'm going home. Can we point that lower?
Yep. We can try that.
Yeah, maybe like go up with it like that. Sometimes you got to compromise to make things work. It could also be the purple.
Yeah.
Take it out, discharge it for a second, and put it back
Good. It does not. It's seeing it. It's not firing, and I wonder if it's because of the purple. Take the purple off.
Oh, yeah.
It could be magic. Nope.
That happens sometimes.
Okay. It's a real shame now, and I'm gonna cry. Nobody saw that. Sorry, Seth. try it one more time.
Waiting for the light to.
Okay, let's use a tungsten light down here. I mean, in the scheme of things, you got to do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying?
At least put the reflector on.
No, I'm going to put the reflector on. I'm not putting the reflector on because that's how I roll.
But we'll put the.
We'll put the umbrella up, though. Okay. I know what you're saying.
Well, we could / should put blue.
Yeah.
You want a CTV?
Yeah, we're going to blue it.
You want a full cut?
Yeah.
Now, the question here is... Okay.
You want the blueberry?
You want the blue?
Okay. Okay. Here we go.
This will also drop in stock, so it won't be so powerful.
Yep.
Let's turn this off for a second.
All right, let's kill it. Maybe just put it... Oh, I see what you're going to do. Oh, nice. All right. Dave's just going to shove the gel in there because that's how we roll.
That might work. It's totally not gonna
We're going to start taking bets on whether this is going to work. We're at that point. We got it. So, how you guys doing? Now, any questions while we're making this happen? Because we're about to go down. This is going to be the most amazing shot ever. Yes?
You don't have access to heavy-duty stands like those. What kind of stands do you
You don't have access to heavy-duty stands. You're in Adorama. Right there. Yeah, the kit comes with regular stands, and you could certainly use this. These are just useful. I mean, you could be sitting this, you know, this is convenient because it's so low, but you could be low with a regular stand too. Just don't put it up all the way. You just won't look as cool. I mean, I can't do everything for you, man. You know, you got to look cool on your own if you want to pull it off, right? All right. All right, so I'm going to go back to F4. No, I'm not. Yes, I am. F4. I'm going to go to 125. And I think I'm going to go to ISO 400, right? That's where we were with the tungsten lights. All right, so let's see what this looks like.
There's not enough blue.
Not enough blue, not at all. My white balance is not set correctly, so this is going to be orange. But I don't. You can fix it. No, the flash did not fire. Okay, that's not terrible. Yeah, that's good. We'll change the white balance now to tungsten. Okay. And there she is, right? She's got a little bit of blue up underneath, up under her grill.
It's wrong for some reason. It's cold.
Yeah.
2800.
Okay, so
I don't know.
what I want to do is we want to create a little bit more shadow on her face so we can see the blue more. So let's tip this bad boy.
Also, do we have a big sheet? We don't have the big gels, do we? The big gel, we
No.
just lay it over it.
Yeah, we don't have big gels. It's fine though.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay. All right, while you're doing that, let me set up the purple one so we're chilling. All right, so I'm gonna grab the purple gel over here. Purple gelled light, I should say. What did you do with the light meter, Dave? Do you have it in your pocket? Okay. There it is. All right. I'm going to read the purple light. Now, I know that my camera is set at 5.6, right, at 400 ISO. So I'm going to change this to 400 ISO to 125, and I'm going to go to corded flash, and I'm going to try to get around a 5.6. Oh, 5.67. I'm going to move this over here. I'm going to turn this down a bit. All right, I'm down all the way, and I'm getting 5.67. What am I going to do? Oh, my God. I'm just going to back it up a little bit. I'm also going to go back this way with it slightly. Good. That should be good. Here we go. Oh, nice. We are using a big piece of gel.
There probably was one of these of those in the.
Yeah. Oh. Luscious. Okay, that's a big piece of gel. That's a big boy gel, as we say. All right, here we go. All right, guys, wish me luck. Oh, I can see that you're a little blue. Oh, interesting.
All right.
Oh, wow.
Black light.
Wow, that is like a crazy club shot. You crazy club kid. It's good, it's good. All right, hold on. Yes, I am just hanging the Hasselblad there. All right, so I'm getting a hot spot across her forehead, which I don't really like. I could diffuse the light because that helps with highlights, but I don't have anything to diffuse it with.
We can bounce it.
We could bounce it, though, off the card.
Yeah.
So let's do that.
Do you want silver? Or
Yeah, let's go silver. So it's specular. Specular. That's Skeletor's brother. All right, here we go. We're going up on a stand for this last one because we're rolling.
Dave, you still need?
All right, guys. So we're getting this last shot down. Any questions? By the way, we're starting to get a little funky. And that reminds me that next week I'm doing character portraits. So if you want to, we're going to jump right into funkiness next week, get a little darker. I will not be using inexpensive lights. No, just kidding. No, I'll probably go back to the pro photos, but you know, you never know. What do you think, Dave? We might use, we don't know. We'll use something. We like lights. Yeah, I know. Remember that you get paid by the amount of lights that you use. So you always want, in the end, to have as many lights as possible. Some of them should flash because it makes you look cooler, but they don't all have to. I didn't need that cable. By the way, tether tools. I need another cable. No, what do you call that thing that goes on the bottom that you have?
Tether block.
I need a tether block, tether tools. Come on, please. My birthday's coming up. Half press for live view. Yes, I will do that. I'm being impatient. I think the stand's in the shot, but okay, we're still getting a bit. It actually, because the specularity of it does look very clubbish. When I go to the club. There we go. Listen, I spent all my money on the camera. I can't afford any lights. This is what I got. Oh, that's her.
We're getting there, right?
Oh yeah, no, this is good. You're blowing up LinkedIn with this one. You're like linked out. linked up. I think it's a totally different kind of site. Now I'm probably going too fast for this flash. No, I'm doing pretty good. All right, I was just working it because it felt good. It felt good. We got all kinds of crazy crap going on, right? We've got a tungsten light up here that we're white balanced for, more or less. We got a tungsten light down here that's mostly blue, but it's throwing some, you know, a little bit of tungsten up on underneath her. We've got a purpley light over here bouncing off silver, giving us this kind of cool purple feel in her hair, but also our background's gone kind of bluish.
Yeah, we'll try it. White.
Oh, he's gonna go white bounce, try to get a little more control. Dave likes control. Also, because I want to be extra cool, I'm gonna open up and go all the way to 3.2. What? All right, and I want to do that. Now, if I go to 3.2, I can't just change my shutter speed because that will not affect my flash. But if I change my ISO, it'll affect both.
$30,000 fee.
Yes. I'm gonna go to 200 ISO. Yes, Dave is priceless. All right, here we go. Good, good, good. Nice.
There was no firing of the flash. No, it did.
Yeah, it fired. All right, I went 3.2 because I wanted to get even more shallow to add like a little bit of funkiness to it. And the final thing that I might do, because I'm feeling it, right? This is, we're gonna do it. When you start feeling it, you gotta just go for it. Oh, tether tools.
Why don't you just use these things?
I do actually have a thing. I just don't have it with me. I have it on the I have it on the 1DX. This is the X1D, but I have it on the 1DX. Good right there. Ooh, I shook the camera. Why? Because I felt like it. It's a smidge under, but I kind of like it. Oh, actually, no, our front light's not a flash anymore, so I can't do that. I'm not going to do that. Let me not move the camera. Here we go. Focusing, perfect. One more, just for the, nice. Cool. Oh, sorry. All right, good. We've got weird color going on. We've got, you know, she's frozen enough with the tungsten light because I'm shooting at 3.2, 125. That's enough. I can handhold that. My coffee started to wear off, so we're good there. But we can see that, like, you can get, I mean, we're not sitting here trying to, you'll be bored if I sit there and just keep trying to work this shot forever, but we're getting cool gel effects. We're getting weird stuff. We're getting cool stuff. We haven't really using any kind of really expensive lighting, right? We're using super inexpensive stuff, really basic stuff. And I think that's the key, right? If you don't have the budget, get what you can get, right? Work with it, but know that there's limitations. We saw today that the color temperature is not consistent on this flash, so it's a little bit weird. Okay, we know this is maybe not as bright. This doesn't hold. That's okay, though. It's better to have it than not. That's how I always say, so you don't feel like you can't shoot because you don't have a Hasselblad. The lights, I should say. Okay, so, no, but that goes for cameras, too. Next week is character portraits. So we're going to get funky. We're going to get all kinds of wild. What else is going on here? All kinds of cool stuff. Make sure you check me out if you guys don't already on my YouTube channel, which is Daniel Norton Photographer, and Facebook. You guys see stuff. I do a lot of stuff with Seth. If you just type in 1200 sessions, you can find it that way. Do a bunch of fun stuff with Seth. If you don't know, Seth is an amazing photographer. He does a bunch of stuff on our Instagram here, and Last X Witness on all the social. And Dave is Dave Brusco. Monday he shoots live. Maria is, what are you, Maria Dakotas? She's Maria Dakotas, so check her out. She's amazing, comedian. And we did some fun shots together, so you guys can see that on Adorama TV as well. Thanks for coming, guys. I will see you next week. Thank you. You're welcome.